Mesdames et messieurs, chers téléspectateurs de la MBS, une fois de plus, bonsoir et merci de nous faire confiance encore ce jour pour cette autre nouvelle édition de votre émission Le Grand Jury. Une fois n'est pas coutume, aujourd'hui, exceptionnellement, nous recevons un seul invité en la personne de Monsieur Makia Sonnet. Bonjour Monsieur Makia Sonnet.
Thank you. It's a very wet week. Lots and lots of winds, but we are here after all.
Aujourd'hui, avec toi, nous allons commenter et analyser l'actualité de la semaine au Cameroun, dans l'arrondissement de Mouyoka et dans le monde.
Like I said, the rains have been very torrential, but life went on.
Le décor est ainsi planté, mesdames et messieurs. Restez connectés, je vous reviens dans quelques instants. Une fois de plus, mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir. Je vais commencer cette émission en parlant du transfert des bureaux de la commune de Mouyoka. Après plusieurs mois d'attente, enfin ça y est, Monsieur Sonnet.
Yeah, but it's something that we already previewed. They had to move from the old place to the new place. Evidently, we had a problem with AES Soner in their normal, very slow manner. The installation of electricity in the place took a long time, far longer than we ever expected. And Mouyoka, as hot as it is, nobody would have imagined that you move from where we are to where they had to go to without electricity. You're going to suffocate in the offices. And the computers had to work and all the other gadgets. So it was only but normal that they had to wait. And the long wait was attributed entirely to the fact that yes, it took too long for electricity to be installed there. As proof of what we are trying to tell you, if you went into those offices long before, you discover that all the furniture was already installed. So no other thing held us back. It was just the electricity problem of power. Immediately Sonet connected us and we moved. And today Mouyoka is in a place to enjoy its luxurious, sumptuous office. A wonderful structure for the town hall.
Et d'après vous, en tant qu'homme politique de la localité, quelle peut être l'incidence de ce déménagement dans la vie des citoyens de Mouyoka au quotidien?
Look, I think that first of all, the new location of the town hall gives room for the expansion of the town. And in this slide, we're only asking CDC to do us one more thing. Give us some more land so that we can expand to that other side of the place. The other thing is that we are going to cut a very beautiful lawn where people can, in the evening, go and sit out there and take fresh air. It's going to be a very nice place, very romantic for people who know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's going to be a very beautiful thing. And for one thing, the isolated nature of that place provides enough room for people who are working out there to work with a lot of concentration. So for everybody who knows exactly what a calm environment would contribute to results, we can be very sure that we expect a lot more than we had here. And the other things that anybody would want to expect. Otherwise, it's the envy of all that we are out there now.
Et est-ce que le fait que ce nouveau bâtiment, ce bijou, comme vous le dites, c'est bien, soit installé tout près de la morgue ne pourrait pas poser un problème à la longue, quand on sait que les populations sont d'habitude superstitieuses?
No, let me be very honest with you. I usually mix up the council and the party. But I think that we should be able to put things in a proper perspective. The council, to where I belong, has always been very systematic. We do things in a very systematic manner, and we try as much as possible to respect things the way they have to be done. It is difficult that we would begin a thing like that without looking at the impact, you know, on the vicinity, the impact on the environment, the impact of everything. I'm sure that proper studies were carried out. The relevant services of the hygiene and sanitation contacted the other relevant services of environment and the rest, and they went there. They were able to assure us that it was okay. It was okay. But I'm talking about on the point of view of health. The question that you put to me was on the point of view of suspicion. Yeah. I think that I don't know. In a very standard and conventional manner, and in a very modern manner, I do not know exactly where suspicion finds its place in our agenda. But otherwise, people are not going to be sleeping in that office, and a mortuary has to be somewhere in town. It cannot be in the bush. So if the mortuary were taking somewhere and the ghosts have to move out, they will move out and meet people where they want to meet them. It is not because it is located 70 meters away from the council, no.
Et puis il y a également notre problème. Quand on voit ce qui s'est déroulé dernièrement au Nigeria avec le camion citerne qui s'est renversé là et le feu qui nous rappelle les événements tragiques de Sam. Est-ce que le fait que la commune soit également à côté d'une station-service ne peut pas être un danger pour les documents qui sont gardés, qui seront gardés dans cette enceinte-là, M. Makiel?
Look, let me be honest with you. It's like you build a house in the middle of the town and a short circuit can ignite fire. Or somebody who stays next door can come up with some petrol or kerosene or stove or whatever. And the consequences will be the same. The truth about it is that all what we are asking people to do is to be sufficiently careful, to be sufficiently prudent. Everybody should take its responsibility. That building is about 150 meters away from the council. I mean the petrol station is about 150 meters away from the council. It's a safe distance, sufficiently safe. Yeah? And a fire outbreak will definitely put the question to us whether we have firefighting equipment in the council, but I think we have. We have fire extinguishers out there. And a fire outbreak will definitely be fought with those things. But I think that if you look at the distance, I do not know exactly what kind of fire. It's not a bushfire. It's not bushfire. Bushfire will definitely get out there. And there's nothing that will link a fire from that petrol station to that building. Yeah. Because I do not see the grass that you have there that will link it, or the bush. But otherwise, we think that, like I said a couple of minutes ago, we've been extremely systematic. We've been able to respect procedure, and we'll be able to respect the norms. And when you look at the distance between the petrol station and the council building, it is sufficiently safe.
Okay, merci. Comme vous parlez tout à l'heure des herbes et tout, je vais utiliser cela comme transition, parce que ici, dans notre localité, généralement, les premiers mercredis du mois sont utilisés pour la propreté dans la ville. Nous l'avons intitulé Keep Moyoka Clean. Quelle analyse faites-vous de ce Keep Moyoka Clean là, vous qui êtes natif de Moyoka et qui avez toujours connu ce système-là?
I'd had to make a contribution towards that, especially in the council session. Our town is not very clean, but we know that the hygiene service of the town can only coordinate. And what we're trying to do is that we establish reticence, recalcitrance at the level of our various quarters. And we had the opportunity of contributing, of addressing this issue in the council session. Well, we said that the hygiene and sanitation service of the council, which is purely an essentially municipal service, should be able to come up with a program and work in liaison with the different quarter heads. Because we know that these different quarter heads equally have their small, at the level of their quarters, the hygiene and sanitation committees. And these hygiene and sanitation committees will be working in liaison with the hygiene and sanitation service of the council, and we will get results. It is difficult for anybody to think that we can at the level of the council, come up with a program, execute it without working in liaison with these guys out there. It's not possible. So, if we have not had those expected results up to now, it is because it looks like there is a proper dysfunction between the relevant services of the hygiene service of the council and the committees at the level of the quarters. But otherwise, we are asking that these people should go back there and re-establish the link.
Qu'est-ce qui coince? Pourquoi malgré tout cela, on s'aperçoit que lors de ces journées-là, honnêtement, il y a quelques rares endroits qui sont choisis par les gens, les syndicats des motos taximens, ils mettent la propriété là-bas. Les boutiquiers, c'est le moment qu'ils choisissent généralement pour soit ils ferment leur boutique, soit ils font semblant de fermer, ils sont toujours en train de servir. Qu'est-ce qui coince? Pourquoi est-ce que les choses ne peuvent pas aller dans le sens que vous voudrez que cela aille?
Things can go. I'm talking about the reticence. The truth about it is that in a situation like that, you move progressively. You move from the point of view of conception to the point of view of sensitization. And after that, when you know that things are not coming up the way they have to come up, you start sanctioning. And honestly, by the time you are putting this question to me, that's exactly where we are. We're trying to say exactly who doesn't do what the effects of what people do not do on our local community. Like you said, all of us feel that things are not going okay. So, when a particular responsibility is assigned to you and you do not do it, when you have to do it absolutely, the next thing is that sanctions should follow. So I'm sure that that's exactly what we should be considering now. Because on the day of a clean-up campaign in Muyuka, pressure groups, tribes, syndicates, and all of those things are assigned particular areas where they have to work. But we discovered that some people barely work. Some people do not even bother to turn up. Some people don't even go. Some go to their farms and that kind of thing. So, and because some of our quarter heads are so close to these people, they find it difficult to bring their names. And you discover that at the level of the central organ, it is difficult to be able to identify who has not worked and who has worked. So all we are asking is that we should work in collaboration with these people to whom particular tasks have been assigned, so that they can give us feedback, proper feedback on who has not done what, and we pass straight to the phase of sanction.
Merci d'avoir permis aux populations de comprendre ce qui se passe réellement avec ce phénomène-là. Mesdames et messieurs, après une courte pause, nous passons à autre chose. Restez connectés. Une fois de plus, bonjour à tous et bienvenue à ceux qui viennent de se joindre à nous. Monsieur Makia, avec vous, j'aimerais que nous commentions l'actualité juridique de notre pays de ces derniers temps. Car quand nous lisons les journaux, l'opération épervier est dans presque toutes les bouches. Je vais commencer par quelque chose qui est très proche de nous. Les chefs traditionnels de la région du Sud-Ouest ont écrit au président de la République récemment pour lui demander la libération de Chief Inoni et Frem, leur collègue chef. Quelle analyse faites-vous de cette lettre-là? Et croyez-vous que cette lettre-là puisse avoir l'effet escompté par les chefs traditionnels du Sud-Ouest?
Look, honestly, it's very, very difficult for me to make a categorical statement on that. First of all, I'm not a chief. And the spirit within which the letter was conceived is what they can appreciate. I'm not a chief, but I think that they have a right to their opinion and they have a right to their demands. If they think that one of theirs has not been treated well and they want to react, it's only but normal that it's only but their own right that they should. As to whether it can have the desired effect is yet another matter. The chiefs of the Southwest constitute a pressure group. So this time around, how much pressure they're going to mount so that it can have the desired effect is yet another matter. But otherwise, I do not know exactly what other thing to say in respect to a letter written by a corps to which I am not a party to. I'm external to that corps, and the spirit within which they conceived their request, because I'm sure that it was a request, is not known to me. But like I said, the Southwest Chiefs Conference that I know very well and that I have a lot of respect for is a pressure group, and I don't know how much pressure this time around they're going to mount so that their demand is able to have the desired effect.
Et également dans le même sens, il y a quelqu'un qui a été arrêté le même jour que Tifinoni. J'ai nommé le ministre d'État Marafa, qui a été très prolifique ces derniers temps. On s'aperçoit de plus en plus qu'il n'écrit plus beaucoup. Quel commentaire faites-vous de cette affaire également?
Well, that would definitely be your opinion that he doesn't write again. I don't know. I'm not sure that you know that I was reading what he was writing, and I do not know whether he was writing, and I'm not even sure that if I did not know that he was writing, I'm not sure that I would know that he has stopped writing. I know that if I read the papers before and I listened to the radio, I remember that the former Minister of State for Territorial Administration and Decentralization was arrested. The other things I've been following. So it's difficult for you to ask me how or why he's not writing again. I don't know.
Non, je ne demande pas pourquoi. Il dit votre analyse.